I cherish every day, not only fight, every day. Today, you know, it's a special day because we're not back day, we're not back time. Listen, people, live, develop, study, smile, live. You know, it's life.
Of course, it wasn't only the opening bell that's coming, but it was also the whole mindset of thinking about a transition from a sport I've been doing since I was a kid. I was kickboxing since I was 6 years old, and now I was 36 when I started transitioning into boxing. So that was the end of last year. And of course, I was boxing, but I was boxing to kickbox.
I think, you know, he's going to go out there and do whatever he wanted to do. You know, I think Rico going to be tough at first, but I think Usyk, with his experience, he's going to figure him out fairly early. And I don't know. We're going to see.
With boxing, I think Usyk will drain his gas tank. Let's put it in this phrase for people who watch at home. Let's say you're playing Street Fighter and you've got your energy bars. I think Usyk knows how to make his energy yeah, he'll just drain him.
He will be.
My opinion.
Yeah. Peter Fury, Huey Fury, they've got good people around Rico, and he's an intelligent guy, and he's been playing the media brilliantly this week, charming, and he knows what he's doing. He doesn't seem to be feeling the pressure, and there's really no pressure on his shoulders.
There's absolutely no pressure on his shoulders, but you know, you look at what's in front of him, and it is a huge, dare I say, pyramid to climb.
I think have faith and want to win, you know, but it's gonna be tough, you know. At least with me, all I've been doing is boxing. He's been doing kickboxing, so it's a little bit different, you know. The sport's a little bit different. He uses kicks, punches, but I think Usyk, with the experience that he has, I think he's gonna go.
Jai, what do you think about the fight between Usyk and Verhoeven? I've been trying to speak to people and see if anyone's backing Verhoeven to spring an upset. We do see them in boxing, but if he can, how does he do it?
Well, he's only going to do it by knockout. You know what I mean? One big punch. You know, that's the only thing that he's going to change it. You know, he's obviously not going to outbox him. You know, but Usyk's the GOAT for a reason.
I don't even know how that happened. Literally, it was just a pass of phone numbers, and then they'd reached out saying that they wanted me. So that works for me. I don't need to ask any more questions and just say, yeah, where am I going to? And it was literally a case of, okay, yeah, sweet, you want to come? And then what day are you flying? It was like a few days notice. And then I was like, okay, fly there. And then I had some people asking me like, they're not say where you're going. I said, no, I just jumped on the plane and went, you know, figure it out from there.
Quite an interesting...
What I was going to be there for.
Yeah. No, I'd say quite an interesting profile of sparring partner, because obviously Verhoeven is...
I think he's going to be stressed out physically to the point of fatigue. And then again, it's going to be a matter of how nice or not so nice Usyk wants to be in there. But I'm going with Usyk. I'm not even going to say late stoppage. I'm going to say something like round 6 through 8 stoppage over Verhoeven. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends earlier. I would be surprised if Usyk lets Verhoeven fight 36 minutes with him.
The combat sports world just witnessed a moment that left everyone speechless, completely shattering everything we thought we knew about the upcoming clash in Giza. When the undisputed heavyweight champion stepped onto the scales, nobody expected the numbers that flashed on the screen. The entire narrative of a predictable masterclass was thrown out the window in a matter of seconds. Instead of the usual composed buildup, the weigh-in erupted into absolute chaos, forcing every single boxing analyst to rapidly rethink their final predictions.
The champ gets privileges, but the challenger weighs in first. 258.7 pounds for the challenger, the king of kickboxing, Rico Verhoeven. Now, stepping onto the scales, the reigning and defending world heavyweight champion, from Kyiv, Ukraine, Oleksandr Usyk. 233.3 pounds.
I was trying to get into the mind of Rico here, Anastav.
You know, he's had bigger stages, but this is his biggest stage, and this is his biggest challenge. What's going through his mind? What would he be thinking right now?
This is it for him. The upgrade has happened. Yeah, just stay composed, hold on to your energy, as you can see he's doing. Stick to the plan, hold on to your energy, tomorrow show.
When Oleksandr tipped the scales at 233 pounds, the internet practically broke. This is his career heaviest, and it immediately sparked wild theories across every forum. Fans began questioning if the undisputed king was secretly slowing down, intentionally bulking up to handle a giant, or making a fatal error in judgment. Rico Verhoeven weighed in at a staggering 258 pounds, giving the kickboxer a massive 25-pound advantage. Observers joked about the champion pulling a move straight out of a rival's playbook, but the underlying fear is very real. Stepping into the ring heavier than ever against a naturally massive striker feels incredibly risky, making people wonder if the boxing master has underestimated the sheer force standing across from him.
Sergey Lapin, team director of Team Usyk. How are you feeling? It's a big fight with you in Egypt, and this is another big fight for your guy. Everybody's saying he's a favorite, but this Rico guy, we don't know how good he is.
Так, я зрозумів. You know, and Rico guy in undisputed in kickboxing, yes? Last not lows in 10 years, maybe more, yeah? And strong guys in heavyweight, this is not easy. This is not easy fight. Alex and team prepare every time prepare for serious and full focus in discipline, you know.
And
this doesn't matter who is your opponent, and you fight in ring. 10 nonsense gloves, you know. This is not joke. And big guys.
Yes, and he has big muscles as well.
Yeah.
But muscles don't win the fights.
Yeah. Oh, of course. And muscles don't win the fight. And muscles is good, and you need in function, yes?
Yeah.
You need in smart deals in boxing. You need to understand what happened in this in ring, you know? And we see what work Rico camp, Rico Verhoeven camp, what work in Fury. You know, he's a good coach.
The tension in the air skyrocketed during the final face-off, transforming a historically respectful event into a power struggle for dominance. Verhoeven looked straight into Usyk's eyes, trying to get the edge, but Usyk, who has done this hundreds of times throughout his career, seemed unfazed. He wasn't intimidated in the least. He looked straight into the eyes of the much bigger Verhoeven and proclaimed his readiness to take on the beast standing in front of him.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that.
Spitted out the terrifying freedom of an elite outsider. The kickboxing legend has absolutely nothing to lose, and that lack of pressure breeds a specific type of delusion. When a fighter truly believes they can rewrite history without any fear of ruining their legacy, they become infinitely more dangerous. That sudden explosion of aggression showed a man who genuinely believes he's going to end the champion's reign.
Main emotions and feelings you're experiencing right now?
I think the main emotion is finally we're here. It's been so long, it's been 6 months of crazy hard work, and I think we fully emerged into the world of boxing. Super thankful for all the work we've put in together with the team, and I'm super happy and confident we're here.
You've been so respectful, and that's great to see with Oleksandr Usyk all week, but that face-off went on for a while again. Is this though when you start to lock in and the wheels start to turn ahead of tomorrow night?
No, but I'll always respect my opponent in whatever case. So, and also with this, just we lock in, and I guess this is what we're doing. So, and I'm for no point, whatever, we're gonna let it slip away. So we're gonna stay there. If we're gonna stay there until tomorrow, I'm here.
We push you for a final prediction. Rico, how do you shock the boxing world tomorrow night? Just tell the world one final time.
No, just all I can say is we're writing history again here in the pyramids. It's a beautiful country, Egypt, already with so much history, and now we're here, 2026, the first boxing event, maybe even the last boxing event here at the pyramids, and I'm gonna be a small part of that. So super thankful for that. So thanks to His Excellency and his team and the whole organization, Matchroom Cellar. Like I said, we're not gonna do predictions. May the best man win, but first of all, we're gonna enjoy ourselves.
Top man, Rico, and best of luck to you tomorrow night.
Adding serious fuel to the fire, a certain Gypsy King recently dropped a massive revelation that sent shockwaves through the community. Having shared the ring with both men, Tyson possesses an insider perspective that very few can claim. He hinted at a highly calculated chess move coming directly from the kickboxer's camp. The rumor suggests a brutal strategy designed to rough up the champion in the clinch, turning a pristine boxing match into a gritty, exhausting brawl. We saw what happened when an MMA powerhouse crossed over and stunned the world by dropping a unified champion. Elite heavyweights from other disciplines simply don't operate by traditional rules, and this secret game plan might just be the ultimate equalizer.
I imagine Verhoeven could face some similar issues, or at the very least, it's worth keeping an eye on that. Having said that, of course, Ngannou did do, I think it was 10 rounds with Tyson Fury. Didn't really seem to bother him too much. Don't think Fury trained properly for that one, but at the same time, yeah, he did okay in that fight. No, without question, you could argue that he won it. And I think what a lot of this comes down to in terms of the contest and what it might look like is just Usyk. What's Usyk got left? And I suppose also how aggressive does Verhoeven come in? Because at the end of the day, if he gets in there, he's quite defensive and he moves around and he keeps his guard nice and high. It will be hard for Usyk to knock him out. It won't be easy. The dude is not a pushover. He's not soft. He's got good reactions. He understands what to do when a shot's coming at him. You know, the blocking is the same. It's just different in terms of the dynamics of where shots are coming from, how you balance yourself, all that kind of stuff, because obviously there's no kicking. But yeah, what Oleksandr Usyk do we have? And the big question, the thing I want to see in this fight is whether or not he appears to have declined. If he blasts Verhoeven out of there, we'll learn nothing in answer to that question. But if it goes a few rounds and he's looking a little sloppier, maybe a little heavier on his feet than he did before, yeah, I'm just intrigued to see what kind of motivation he's got left, if indeed his shape's not quite what it normally is as well, although I saw a few shots and he just looks his usual self from what I've seen so far. Nothing to worry about.
Trainers are deeply concerned about the mechanical glitch this matchup presents for a traditional fighter. The kickboxing king doesn't move with the standard rhythm ingrained in amateur boxing programs. He dives in from bizarre distances, squares his shoulders at odd angles, and creates a chaotic geometry that can scramble even the highest ring IQ. A former sparring partner warned that the absolute worst thing an elite champion can do is face a highly athletic novice. They throw strikes from completely wrong positions, effectively making the master look foolish because the movements defy logical anticipation. This weird, unpredictable mechanics issue means the champion will have to actively decode a puzzle that constantly changes shape.
I mean, it sometimes feels, with a fight like this, where it seems like there's such an obvious outcome, it feels a little silly to say who do you think's going to win, but I suppose the question is how do you think it's going to end is what I would put to you.
I think he's very much, he's like a computer, he's downloading stuff and figuring it out, and I think he's not going to take stupid risks. He don't take risks. He's very safe in everything. Any easy openings, you've got to work at it and figure it out yourself. So I think by the time he's figured you out, then it's probably too late, you know, and you're probably exhausted at that point as well. So maybe six, maybe six latest. You know, I don't see it going too far. Like, It's just too smart. And then by the time he's found them openings, and he's going to start drilling the shots in properly, and it's going to work out, you know.
Despite the growing panic, old school boxing purists refuse to buy into the hype. Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas delivered a brutal reality check, completely dismissing the possibility of a competitive bout. He argues that a kickboxer's stationary high guard will turn him into a heavy bag for a precision counterpuncher. In his view, all the unorthodox movements in the world won't save a man who hasn't spent decades mastering head movement inside a squared circle.
We're not going to see an upset. Verhoeven is a legendary kickboxer, but he's had one pro boxing fight, and he won
in 2014.
Against a handpicked guy. So he's 1-0, and he's not going to be 2-0. We got a better chance of seeing King Tut make a comeback than we do of seeing Verhoeven pull off, which would be beyond the upset. But it's an event, and if anyone deserves a little break, look, you don't take anyone for granted. He's a big, strong guy, Verhoeven. He's in good shape. He's physical. He's game. He's experienced in the kickboxing realm. You don't take anyone for granted, but he doesn't figure to have any chance against Usyk. And Usyk is a serious guy, so I can't imagine like we were thinking about when Tyson was fighting with Jake Paul and other events like that. Yeah, and we were wondering, with some of those events, you wonder, is it scripted? Is there some agreement there? People were wondering that, I think, for a while with Joshua and Paul. Was an agreement to move around for a few rounds, then take the gloves off and go at it. And of course, Joshua, I think, stopped him in the 6th round, if I remember correctly, whatever it was. But a lot of people didn't think it was go that long. We got that one right. We had the over. I think it was 3 rounds. We had the over in that one. But Usyk's not the kind of guy that would entertain stuff like that, I don't believe. I think that he does deserve
The purists believe the champion will systematically dismantle his massive opponent, splitting the guard and targeting the body with ruthless efficiency. They predict the whole spectacle will be over by the 4th round, comparing the chances of an upset to seeing an ancient pharaoh rise from his tomb.
I think if Usyk can just wait him out for the first couple of rounds, maybe even to the middle rounds like round 6, then go beyond that, I think he'll be gassed out. Usyk can definitely get a stoppage. Now, I do think this guy's going to be pretty tough. It does seem like it. I think he's been knocked out a few times, maybe a couple times, but I mean, he does seem like a tough guy. Like I said, he's the way bigger guy as well, but Usyk, skill-wise, just by far the better guy. Now, if I was Usyk, what I would do is just, set up some jabs early, move around the ring a lot, get out of the way of this guy's punches. I think he's going to try and pour it on if he really does want to go in there and get the win. He'll probably try and pour it on, give it all you got for the first few rounds, try and get a knockout. I do think that's, the only way he'll win. He's not going to win a boxing match over 12 rounds with Oleksandr Usyk. That's just impossible. So he's definitely going to go in there, probably just, trailblaze him, where I think if Usyk just gets out of the way, tires him out, goes to the body even, sets some things up, he can definitely get a stoppage later on in this matchup. And if you want me to be completely honest, he needs to get a stoppage, because I don't want to see a sparring match against this guy or, letting him get away with this fight, just hitting him, doing some damage. No, I want to see him knock this guy out and do a Francis Ngannou and Joshua. Like, that needs to happen, especially with people already talking, upset about this matchup. He needs to go in there and stop this guy. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what even happens. I hope it does.
There is a lingering dark shadow hanging over this entire event, fueled by a chilling joke made by Verhoeven himself. He casually mentioned throwing a high kick if things start going south in the later rounds. While it was said with a smile, it highlighted a terrifying reality about instinct versus rules. Imagine a 14-year undefeated combat king facing total embarrassment on a global stage. When exhaustion sets in and the conscious mind fades, elite muscle memory takes over. The The sheer panic of being outclassed could easily trigger an automatic, devastating reaction that completely breaks the rules of boxing. It's a psychological wild card that adds a layer of intense anxiety to every single exchange.
Rico Verhoeven looking to bring the big upset this weekend. Rico, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, happy, and feeling blessed to be here.
Yeah, we had a good long conversation with a part of your training team, Peter Fury, and he said, look, we're under no illusions that he's a great Oleksandr Usyk, but we're not here to make up the numbers. We have an elite mindset. We're here to get the victory, get the win. Imagine you're just zoned in on getting that to effect this weekend.
Yeah, most definitely. That's what we're here for. We're not here to play games. We're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
What do you have to do to foster a mindset like that, given the opposite end of the corner is Oleksandr Usyk? How do you train your mind for something like that?
To be honest, it could be anybody that's right across me. And of course, we're now facing, could be the pound for pound very best to have ever done it, but it's a man, 2 arms and 2 legs. So that's how I'm approaching this fight, and I've put everything I have into this. So either way, I can never take any way away from myself. Like I said, could have done this better. I did everything I could. So for 6 months, that's why I'm here, fully focused, fully prepared, and ready to take this challenge on.
Of the tape that you watched of Oleksandr Usyk, of the wins that he's got in the fashion that he has, where do you see your chances to get your offense in? Where do you see the chances to show those weaknesses that he has in his game?
Well, of course, we've watched a lot of footage, and every fighter has his openings and has his weaknesses. So do I. So that's how we approach it, and we just try to show him something different that he hasn't seen before. So, like, I'm not your typical boxer.
As fight night approaches, the conversation has subtly shifted from predicting an outright win to redefining what success actually looks like for the massive underdog. Analysts are drawing comparisons to iconic underdog movies, suggesting that simply surviving the onslaught is a victory in itself. If the kickboxer can push the pound-for-pound king past the 6th round, or somehow manage to stagger him, he earns eternal respect. Taking a master technician into deep waters and making him look human would alter the entire narrative of combat sports. It proves that raw size, relentless pressure, and a fearless mindset can bridge the gap against pure technical brilliance.
I see on your sleeve Isaiah 41:10. Explain to me, I read this verse, very powerful. Why you choose this verse?
Because God say, if you can with me, you can every time, you know. It's possible only when you coming with God. All possible, you know, work, fights, world, anything, yes, anything.
Yeah, I read it, so do not fear.
Be afraid, because I with you. Yes.
Uphold with your righteous hand.
Yes.
Beautiful verse. Also, your friend Derek Chisora, they speak to him yesterday. You know his prediction?
No.
He say Rico will win. Derek, go crazy.
Derek, you crazy. You are crazy. You know, bro, this is only word. Words. Blah, 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 blah. A lot of people on the words.
Why you think he's saying this?
Crazy. Because it's TV, it's internet. When people say true, a lot of people, no, it's bad. But when people say dirty, брехня, lime, a lot of people, wow, maybe it's a good.
This unprecedented clash in front of the ancient pyramids is no longer just a spectacle. It has evolved into a fascinating experiment, testing the limits of combat disciplines. The dramatic weigh-in and the explosive press conference flipped the script, turning a foregone conclusion into a gripping mystery. Whether the pure ring IQ of an undefeated master can neutralize a 25-pound physical deficit remains to be seen. This event forces us to question everything we thought we knew about the sweet science. When the opening bell rings in the Egyptian desert, we won't just be watching a fight. We will be witnessing a historic collision of worlds, leaving us to wonder if sheer willpower can truly rewrite history. We'd love to hear from you, though. Do you think Rico Verhoeven can cause a massive upset tonight? Or will we see why Usyk is known as the pound-for-pound boxing king? That's all for today. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.